You're listening to Keeping It 100 with Mel and Bruce, sponsored by the 100 Black Men of Las Vegas. My name is Mel Tillar, and I'm your host. Today's guest is Aisha Goins. They call her coach. She coaches businesses, and she's going to coach you today and give you some great information. Aisha, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Talk to us a little bit about your organization, the organization that you started, and you're a bit of a trailblazer. We'd like to know about that.
The most important thing that I've done in my life is serve my community. And as I began serving, I thought that, I needed to show up places in numbers so that I can offer other people the opportunity to serve as well. And so in 2017, I founded Cannabis Equity and Inclusion Community. And our core focuses is freedom, equity, and opportunities. Number one, we want to have freedom for our people because nothing matters before that. And then we want to create positions where we can introduce equity. And in introduce equity, we want to ensure that those equity places have opportunities. And so that's what CEIC is about.
I like that. I understand that you opened one of the first dispensaries in Nevada.
So it's Frank Hawkins Dispensary, Nevada Wellness Center, Frank, Andre, and Luther Mack. And I was on the staff at that time. And, it was really weird working in an industry where people don't, first of all, we were first open. And then after that, being Black in an industry where there was no Black people,
Yes.
it was unnerving, and they didn't make me welcome. I don't tell this story because I'm always an apologizer for the industry, but no part of that industry made me feel welcome in the beginning. And I didn't want other people to, have the experiences that I had.
I understand that. Now, I understand that you also lobby for the industry.
I still lobby, yes. So they would call me a cannabis specialist. I have two specialties, and that's birth work and cannabis. And so I'm a cannabis equity specialist.
Tell me some of your experiences lobbying for the industry and lobbying for Black and brown people to enter the industry and have a fair shake.
It's funny when the first time that I lobbied, I didn't know that that's what it was called. I just knew that we needed to be in the industry. And I knew the only way to get us in industry was to go through governmental forces, governmental bodies. And it come to find out that's called lobbying, right? And so as I proceeded, I sharpened my skill set, understood what policy was, learned how to read and how to translate policy. I had great mentors who, had one of the things that my mentor Frank used to say is the devil is in the details. And so I understood, just kind of digesting where the ins and the outs could be. And what I will tell you is the number one thing that I found is that the people that you think are going to be the most inviting aren't. There's always politics to everything. And I'm not just saying there's politics to policy because that goes without saying, but this is politics to business. There's politics to the way business is ran in the state of Nevada and in all states. And you have to navigate those forces just to get your agenda through. And so, it's tough, but I will say that, once the community is involved in legislation, once the community understands policy, it makes it a whole lot easier. And so serving my community in this matter has made it probably a little easier than other people have had.
A watershed moment is coming up on October 14th. Please tell us about that.
So October 14th is the opening of the cannabis licensing application. So cannabis consumption lounge licensing application. This is the first time in years, I want to say 2017, everything happened that year, I guess. 2016, 2017 was the last time that there was an open enrollment for applications for business in the cannabis industry in Nevada. And so October 14th, for a 10-day window, licensing would be available for consumption lounge licensing.
Now, people are hearing about this. They hear that you are a coach. Tell us exactly what you coach.
I coach businesses. So I'm what we call a small business coach. I don't coach specifically cannabis businesses, but I do have a program called Pathway to Ownership that's been funded through the county, and that program is set up to ensure that those persons disenfranchised by the war on drugs have the entry into the business. But as my consulting firm, which is Black Joy Consulting, I consult small businesses for stability because, you know, no one should work alone. That's the number one thing I tell people. How can I be successful in business? They ask me, and I tell them no one should work alone. What that means is get a mentor and get a coach. Get some people who understand the places that you don't understand, and that's the business that I do.
I love that. Get a business, get a coach. Somebody listening to you today wants to get you as their coach. Give us your contact information, please.
It's blackjoyclub.com, blackjoyclub.com. And if they're interested in anything that having to do with the licensing, I'd like them to visit ceicnv.org. That's Cannabis Equity and Inclusion Community, nv.org. And over at that space, what happens is we do gatherings to ensure that people have the information that they need. Black Joy Consulting doesn't consult cannabis businesses. And I know that's so weird.
All right. So you're telling me that you don't consult cannabis businesses, but it sounds like you do have contacts and you can help people get the consultation that they need.
Absolutely. And it would be my pleasure. Absolutely.
All right. Is there a phone number?
Yes, you can reach me at 702-350-2158.
One more time with the phone number, please.
702-350-2158.
All right. You've given us a lot of great information. Is there anything you would like to leave our listening audience with?
Yes, I want to just make sure that everyone knows there are 20 independent licenses available. 10 of those are social equity. You should see if you can qualify. If you have the discretionary funds, it is a random number selection. And that means that you have as much opportunity to be in this industry as anybody else. And you can get the information on how to apply at ccb.nv.gov. That's cannabiscomplianceboard.nevada.gov.
Well, thank you very much. We have gotten some information from you that we absolutely need to know. We're going to be keeping people aware of this because oftentimes this kind of information is released, but only a small circle of individuals know about it. We thank you for coming on the show and letting our community know once again that October 14th is the Watershed Day, and tell us exactly what's going to happen on October 14th.
October 14th, for a 10-day window, licensing applications will be made available. So you can apply for a cannabis consumption lounge license.
You've been listening to Keeping It 100 with Mel Bruce, sponsored by the 100 Black Men of Las Vegas. And we have been speaking with Coach Aisha Goins, and that's Keeping It 100.